What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Trev. I'm back with you again today. Some of you might know that I've got another YouTube channel too, and it's Relationship Talk with Trev, and it's pretty much about interpersonal relationships. And something that we've talked about on there is that you can like somebody, or you can dislike somebody. You can be cooperative with someone, or you can be non-cooperative. But one of the worst things you can really do is just ignore somebody, to be indifferent. Okay? Now, people who choose that stance, they think that they're being powerful. Okay? That they have something over their adversary, because I'm just ignoring. I'm not going to let you get to me. I'm not going to show you any emotion at all. I'm just going to. And so, they think that they have the upper hand. And it's really quite the opposite, okay? It's kind of telling when people do that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to avoid conflict. And usually when you're trying to avoid conflict, not always, usually when you're trying to avoid conflict, it's because you don't have a lot of confidence in your position, okay? That you think that your position is weak, okay? And that's why people take that stance. Now, how does that relate to stocks? Because we're not on Relationship Talk with Trev. We're on DJ Trev Market Talk, right? Well, talking about Luna Classic, LUNC, a lot of people have been asking, what's going on with this 1.2% transactional burn tax? I don't know if you can hear fireworks in the background, but people are gearing up, So they're asking what's going on with that. 3568 passed, 4080 passed, all these things. We voted on them and they all passed. So why aren't they being implemented? And we know that right now it's in the hands of the Terra Rebels development team, the team that is attempting to rescue LUNC and to get it back on its feet. So maybe some eyes are looking at them, what are you guys doing? I thought, this thing was passed. Why aren't you? And I got to tell you, they are doing at everything that they can do. They're doing way more than I thought they'd ever be able to do, okay? But the problem right now is you've got Mr. Do Kwon, who is the leader of TFL, Terraform Labs, being indifferent. And in true form, he's being indifferent, and he's ignoring their requests for, whatever it is that they need. Just communication at this point would be nice. He's ignoring it because he knows that his position is weak. He has no reason whatsoever to really be ignoring them, okay? Other than like an ego kind of thing, all right? He chose, when Luna at the time died, he was warned ahead of time, of the potential pitfalls and what was probably going to happen. And he ignored it. Arrogance, okay? And it failed. It failed miserably. It cost billions of dollars. It cost people their life savings. And instead of attempting to fix it, and the Terra Rebels have proven that it could have been fixed because they've fixed it. Instead of choosing to fix it, he chose to just abandon it, to fork off, and create a new token, this Luna 2. The community didn't want him to do it. There was a vote, a pre-vote, kind of a poll, and 90% of the community said, no, we don't want a fork. We want you to fix Luna, at the time, Luna, what we call Luna Classic now. But he didn't do that. And there were a handful of validators who stood with the community, who would not vote yes on his proposal to fork and to create this new token. One of those 5 all nodes CEO was very vocal, spoke out in an interview and talked about how it seemed like Do Kwon was just totally ignoring the will of the people, being indifferent, ignoring what had just happened, almost as if he knew that it really didn't matter what the public thought. He had already decided what he was going to do. And there were reports that validators that whether this is true or not, there were reports that any validators that would vote against his proposal were threatened that he would remove, he wouldn't stake with them and remove the delegation from them. And so it passed, and here we are. But the terror rebels have reached out to TFL, reached out to Do Kwon, just, to get them to maybe cooperate a little bit. You want your new coin, your new token, whatever you got going on over there. That's fine. But this one is just sitting here, and there were people that lost a ton of money, and we can maybe help those people, okay, is what the terror rebels are saying. We can help them. Maybe some of those people held on to, didn't sell. Maybe they held on to their bags, and if we can revive this thing, maybe they can recoup a little bit. And they've reached out, but they're being ignored because the position is weak. Because here's the thing. It failed under Do Kwon's watch, and now some, ragtag group of volunteers came and fixed it. Not only fixed it, but fixed it in a way that, the mistakes that were made the first time won't happen again. Okay? And that's a blow, I'm sure, to Mr. Do Kwon's ego. So he's not going to cooperate. He's not going to talk to them. Now, I guess that is what it is. But these guys are no ragtag group. They are just as talented, if not more talented, than anybody he has on staff. If you go into their Discord and you start reading through their conversations, it's way beyond me. But it's so impressive. They know what they're doing, okay? And they have a contingency plan. Plan A, B, C, D. If this happens, we go to this. If that happens, we go to that, okay? And right now, they can do this without Do Kwon. They can do this without him releasing the 49% of the validators who have chosen to ignore what Terror Rebels is doing and not adopt the new software. 51%, I believe, have done it, but some of them haven't. But they can get around that. It gets technical, and I'm not the person to really explain technical to you. But they have ways around it. Something about generating the longest chain, and something that they call a nuclear option, where they take over the network, okay? So what could happen? Let's say they did that. Well, if they generate the longest chain, well, what stops TFL from generating an even longer chain? Well, it would be, at this point, extremely costly for them to do that, for them to even attempt to do that. And I don't even know that they could successfully do it. But it would cost them a lot of money. And to think that that Do Kwon would actually want to put money into fighting just to keep this thing from from being fixed. I mean, I don't really see that happening. I don't think they see it happening. He hasn't really fought it all along. He's just been indifferent. Okay. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to go that route. It would be so much easier and so much better for everybody, for the community, for everyone involved, if all of the validators were just released to, have the vote released. Okay, allow the whole entire body of validators to be able to vote, to jump on the new software, and to be able to start governance all together as one. It would be so much better for everybody. But a lot of them, for whatever reason, have chosen not to jump on board. So at this point, they're playing with your money. Okay? They're playing with my money. I'm invested. If you're invested, if you were invested before the crash, if you invested after the crash, either way, they're playing with your money. And since they're playing with your money, you can do something about it. Okay? If you went to the Terror Rebels website, I'm sure that someone there would be able to provide you with a list of the delegators who have not come on board yet, their email addresses, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't care what they got, but we need to be driving them crazy. Okay, we need to be emailing them. We need to be text messaging them, asking them to kindly come over to the new software and do their job. And let's start voting. Let's start the governance. Let's get everything back on track. Okay. If they, what's going to happen is if they don't jump on board, they're going to end up, the software is written in a way that if they don't jump on board, it's actually going to cost them, okay? They're going to have to pay some sort of penalty, kind of, right? I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's not going to be good for them. So what could they do? Well, a couple of choices. They can jump on board. Why not? I mean, that's kind of the noble thing to do, right? Or they can just abandon. They can flee, right? And if that happens, there's a contingency plan for that, okay? It's, maybe similar to this nuclear option, maybe not exactly like that. But here's the thing, okay? This is going to happen, okay? Period. There's nothing that's going to stop the terror rebels from rescuing this thing, putting it back on its feet, okay? And making it a viable investment again. Nothing's going to stop that from happening. You can delay it, okay? You can make it a little more difficult. You can't stop it. You're not going to stop it at this. At this point, let me put it to you this way. At this point, LUNC is no longer in Do Kwon's hands. Terror rebels have absolute control of it, okay? They have absolute control. Now, we just need to get the government, we need to get the delegating situation going again, because once all that is in place, now we can get the 1.2% tax. Now we can get all the things that we've already voted on. Now we can enact them, okay? I think I have that right, okay? So, that's what I'm asking you to do, okay? If you want to do something, if you want to help, get on your computers, get on your phones, send out emails, send out tweets, find these people, flood their inboxes with requests to join the terror rebels, to use the new software, and let's get moving, right? Let's just get this going again. Let's try to help out some of the families, some of the people who lost everything. We can give them a little bit back. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I really don't know. And Do Kwon, nobody cares about your ego. I don't know if you see this. I hope you see it, okay? I'm going to tag you in it. I hope everybody tags you in it and sends it to you. We don't really care about your ego. What you're doing right now is getting in the way of people's lives, their livelihood, and you're preventing those who you basically screwed out of their money from recouping anything, okay? If you think for a minute that anyone in this community is going to support this new coin of yours, you're crazy, all right? You're showing yourself to be scoundrel, scad. You know, there's a bunch of other words that I would like to use, but I'm not going to. So, anyway, that's where we are. That's why the 1.2 isn't enacted yet. It'll get there. We'll get there. It can be faster. It can be slower. It depends on what goes on. Okay. Depends on how much we as a community jump in and try to lend a hand with what we can do. Okay. I am going to recommend that everybody, if you have not already, join the Terror Rebels Discord. It is absolutely free to do so. They are so transparent. You can see everything that's going on a daily basis. And like every day, there are new achievements. There are new things going on. Okay. We need to get this back on board because companies need to come back. They need to come back and they need to jump back in this thing because it's safe to do so. They'd be in really good hands if they did. But the community needs to get behind it. A couple things need to happen, but we're going to get there. I'm confident of that. Okay. I'm not telling you what to do. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I can tell you that this Terror Rebels development team has it under control, and you can rest assured with that. All right. I'll talk to you next time. Ciao.